Go, lovely rose, by Edmund Waller. Go, lovely rose, tell her that wastes time and me that now she knows when I resemble her to we, how sweet and fair she seems to be. Tell her that's young and shuns to have her grace espied, that heads were sprung in deserts where no man abide, thou must have uncommanded tide. Small is the birth of beauty from the light retired, bid her come forth, suffer herself to be desired, not blush so to be admired. Die, that she the common fate of all things rare may read in thee. How small a part of time they share, does the wonder sweet and fair. Of English verse, by Edmund Waller. Poets may boast, as safely vain, work shall with the world remain. Both bound together, live or die, the verses and the prophecy. Who can hope this line should long last in the daily changing tongue? While they are new, envy prevails, as for die so language fails. The architects have done their part, the matter may betray their art. Time, if we use ill-chosen stone, soon brings a well-built palace down. Poets with lasting marbles seek must carve in Latin or in Greek. We write in sand, our language grows, and, like the tide, our work overflows. Chaucer his sense can only boast, the glory of his numbers lost. Years have defaced his matchless strain, and yet he did not sing in vain. Beauties which adored that age, the shining subjects of his rage, hoping they should immortal prove, rewarded with success's love. This was the generous poet's scope, all an English pen can hope, to make the fair proof his flame, and can so far extend their fame. Verse thus designed has no ill fate, if it arrive but at the date of fading beauty, if it prove but as long-lived as present love. Of my Lady Isabella playing on the lute, by Edmund Waller. Such moving sounds with such a careless touch, so unconcerned herself and we so much. What art is this, and with so little pains, transports us thus, how the spirit reigns. Trembling strings about her fingers crowd, and tell the joy of every kiss aloud. Small force there needs to make them tremble so, touched by that hand, who would not tremble too? Here love takes stand, and while she charms the ear, empties his quiver on the listening deer. Music so softens and disarms the mind, that an error does resistance find. Thus the fair turn celebrates surprise, and acts herself with the triumph of her eyes. So near the ones with harp and hand survey this flaming Rome, as a birdie play. Of the last verses in the book, by Edmund Waller. We for age could neither read nor write, the subject made us able to indict. The soul with nobler resolutions decked, the body stopping does herself erect. No mortal parts are requisite to raise her that unmodelled cannot make her praise. The seas are quiet and the winds give hour, so calm we passions are no more. When we know how vain it was to boast of fleeting things are certain to be lost. Clouds of affection from our younger eyes conceal that emptiness which age decries. The soul's dark cottage, battered and decayed, lets in new light through chinks the time has made. Stronger by weakness wiser men become, as they draw near to their eternal home, leaving the old above worlds at once they view, that stand upon the threshold of the new. Of the use of poetry, by Edmund Waller. Rome was not better by her horrors taught, and they are here to comprehend his thought. The poetry to noble peace or there, and noble pieces to instruct us here. Gives us a pattern in its flowing style, and with rich precepts do blight our eye. Britain, whose genius is in verse expressed, bold and sublime, but neglect and dressed. Horse will our superb branches prune, give us new rules, and set our harp in tune. Direct us how to back the winged horse, favour his flight, and moderate his force. The poets may of inspiration boast. Their rage ill-governed in the clouds is lost. He with proportioned wonders can disclose, at once his fancy and his judgment shows. Just moral writing we may learn from hence, neglect of which no wit can recompense. The fountain which from Helicon proceeds, that sacred stream should never water weeds, nor make the crop of thorns and thistles grow, which envy all perverted nature so. Well-sounding verses are the charm we use, heroic thoughts and virtue to infuse. Things of deep sense we may in prose unfold, and they move more, in lofty numbers told. By the loud trumpet which our courage aids, we learn that sound, as well as sense, persuades the muse's friend unto himself severe, of silent pity looks on all that err, but where a brave public action shines, that he rewards with his immortal lines. Whether it be in council or in fight, his contrary's honour is his chief delight. Praise of great acts is scattered as a seed, which may the like in coming ages breed. Here taught with sated verses always prized, with admiration, or as much despised, men will be less indulgent to their thoughts, and patience have to cultivate their thoughts. Poets lose half a praise they should have got, could it be known, but they discreetly blot, finding the words that such a ravished ear may like the language of the gods appear. Such as of old wise bards employed to make unpolished men their wild retreats forsake, law-giving heroes, famed for taming Brutus, and raising cities with their charming lutes, the rudest minds with harmony were caught, and civil life was but the muses taught. So wandering beasts may perish in the air, did not a sound proportioned to their ear appease their rage, and invite them to the heath, unite their force, and teach them how to thrive, to rob the flowers, to forbear the spoil, preserved on winter by their summer's toil. They give us food, which may with nectar thee, and vex with dust the absent sun supply. Old Age by Edmund Waller. The seas are quiet when the winds give o'er, so calm are we when passions are no more. For when we know how vain it was to boast of fleeting things certain to be lost, clouds of affection from our younger eyes conceal that emptiness which age decries. The south's dark cottage, battered and decayed, lets in new light through chinks that time hath made. Stronger by weakness, wiser men become, as they draw near to their eternal home, leaving the old both worlds at once the view that stand upon the threshold of a new. On a Girdle by Edmund Waller. That which her slender waist confined shall now my joyful temples bind. No monarch but would give his crown, his arms might do what this has done. It was my heaven's extremest fear, the pale which held that lovely dear. My joy, my grief, my hope, my love, all within the circle move. And our compass, and yet there, dwell all that's good and all that's fair. Give me but what this ribbon bound, take all the rest, the sun goes round. On Tea, Edmund Waller. Venus her myrtle, Phoebus has her base, tea both excels, which she vouchsafes to praise. The best of queens and best of herbs we owe to that bold nation, that to obey it showed the far region where the sun doth rise, whose rich productions we so justly prize. The muse's friend, tea does our fancy aid, we press those vapours which the head invade, and keep the palace of the soul serene, fit on her birthday to salute the queen. On the Friendship Betwixt Two Ladies, by Edmund Waller. Tell me, lovely, loving pair, why so kind and so severe, why so careless of our care, only to yourselves so dear? By this cunning change of hearts, you have the power of love control, with boys, lute starts can arrive at neither soul. For in vain to either breast, beguiled love does come, they finds a fond guest, neither of your hearts at home. Debtors thus with like design, and they never mean to pay, if they may the law decline, to some friend make all way. Not with silver doves that fly yoked in Cythera's car, nor the wings that lift so high and converse suns afar. Ah, so lovely, sweet and fair, O do more a noble love, or such choicely matched pair, or with more consent to move. Say, lovely dream, by Edmund Waller. Say, lovely dream, where couldst thou find shadows to counterfeit with face? Colours of this glorious kind come not from any mortal place. And heaven itself was showbird dressed, with that angel-like disguise, was deluded in my blessed, and see my joy with closed eyes. Ah, this image is too kind, to be other than a dream, cruel Zachariah's mind never put on what sweet extreme. Fair dream, if thou intend'st me grace, change that heavenly face of wine, paint despised love in the face, and make it to appear like mine. Pale, worn, and meagre let it look, with a pity-moving shape, such as wander by the brook of live, or from graves escape. When to that matchless nymph appear, and whose shape shines so softly in a sleeping ear, with humble words express my woe. Perhaps from greatness, state, and pride, thus surprised she may fall, sleep does disproportion hide, and death resembling equals all. Stay, Phoebus, stay, by Edmund Waller. Stay, Phoebus, stay, the world to which you fly so fast, conveying day, from us to them can pay your haste, with no such object nor salute your rise, with no such wonder as the morning's eyes. Well does this prove the error of those antique books, which made you move about the world? Her charming looks would fix your beams, and make it every day, did not the rolling earth snatch her away. The Dancer, by Edmund Waller. Behold the brand of beauty tossed, see how the motion does dilate the flame. Delighted love as spoils does boast and triumph in this game. Fire to no place confined is both a wonder and a fear, moving the mind as lightning hurled through air. High heaven the glory does increase, of all her shining lamps his artful way, the sun and figures such as these, joys with the moon to play. To sweet strains they all advance, it should result from their own spheres, as with nymphs dance moves with the numbers which she hears. The Self Banished, by Edmund Waller. It is not that I love you less, and then before your feet I lay, but to prevent the sad increase of hopeless love I keep away. In vain, alas, for everything which I have now belonged to you, your formless to my fancy bring, and makes my outwards bleed anew. Who in the spring from the new sun already has a fever got, too late begins for shafts to shun, which Phoebus through his veins has shot. Too late he would the pain assuage, to the thick shadows does retire, about with him he bears the rage, and his tainted blood the fire. But vow to have, never must, your bench servant trouble you, if a break you may distrust, though made to love you too. The story of Phoebus and Daphne by Edmund Waller. Phyllis, a youth of the inspired train, fair Cyria's love, but loved in vain. Like Phoebus sung of a no less amorous boy, like Daphne she is lovely and as coy. If numbers he the flying nymph pursues, if a number such as Phoebus' self might use, such as the chase when love and fancy leads, or craggy mountains and the flowery meads, and the oak to testify the lover's care, or from some image of his cruel fare, urged with his fury like a wounded deer, away he fled, and now approaching near had reached the nymph of his harmonious lay, whom all his charms could not incline to stay. Yet what he sung in his immortal strain, though unsuccessful, was not sung in vain. All but the nymph that should redress his wrong, at hand his passion and approve his song. Like Phoebus was acquiring unsought praise, he catched at love and filled his arm with bass. To a lady singing a song of his composing, by Edmund Waller. Chorus, yourself you so excel, you vouchsafe to breathe my thought, that like a spirit with the spell of my own teaching I am taught. The eagle's fate and mine are one, which, on a shaft that made him die, espied a fever of his own, with the want to soar so high. An echo of so sweet a grace, Narcissus' loud complaints returned, not for reflection of his face, but of his voice the boy had burned. To a very young lady, by Edmund Waller. Why came I so untimely forth into a world which, wanting thee, could entertain us with no worth or shadow of felicity? The time should me so far remove from that which I was born to love. Yet fairest blossom, though not slight with age which you may know so soon, the rosy moon resigns the light and milder glory to the noon. And then what a wonder should you do, when dawning beauty warns us so? Hope waits upon the flowery prime, and summer, though it be less gay, yet is not looked on as a time of declination and decay. With a full hand that does bring all that was promised by the spring. To Mr. Henry Lowes, who had then newly set a song of mine, by Edmund Waller. Verse makes heroic virtue live, but you can live to verses give, as if in an open air we blow, the breath of our strained sounds flat and low. And if the trumpet takes the blast, it lifts it high and makes it last. So no airs and our numbers stressed make a shrill sally for the breast of nymphs who is singing what we penned, our passions to themselves commend. While love victorious with the art, governs at once their voice and heart. You by the help of tune and time can make that song which was but rhyme, nor pleading nor man doubts the cause, or question verses set by laws. As a church a window thick with paint lets in a light but dim and faint, so others with division hide the light of sense, the poet's pride. And you alone may truly boast that not a syllable is lost, and writers and the satire skill at once the ravished ears to fill, and the those which only warble long and gargle in their throats a song, content themselves with would me. Let words and sense be said by we. To the young lady Lucy Sidney, by Edmund Waller. Why came I so untimely forth into a world which, wanting thee, could entertain us with no worth, or shadow of felicity? The time should me so far remove from that which I was born to love. Yet fairest blossom, do not slight that age which you may know so soon. The rosy morn resigns the light and milder splendors to the noon. If such thy dawning beauty's power, who shall bide its noontide hour? Hope waits upon the flowery prime, and summer, though it be less gay, yet is not looked on as a time of declination or decay. For the full hand she doth bring all that was promised by the spring. To one married to an old man, by Edmund Waller. Since thou wouldst needs, bewitched with summer charms, be within those monumental arms, all we can wish is, may that earth lay light upon thy tender limbs, and so good night. To Phyllis, by Edmund Waller. Phyllis, why should we delay pleasure shorter than the day? Can we, which we never can, stretch our lives beyond their span? Beauty like a shadow flies, or youth before us dies. Or would youth and beauty stay? Love as wings and will away. Love as swifter wings for time. Change and love to heaven doth climb. Gods that never change their state, vary oft for love and hate. Phyllis, to this truth we owe all the love betwixt us two. Let not you and I inquire what has been our past desire. On what shepherds you have smiled, what nymphs I have beguiled. Leave it to the planets too, we surely after do. For joys we know may prove, take advice of present love. To William Davenant by Edmund Waller. Was the wise nightingale that leaves her home and native wood when storms and winter come, pursuing constantly the cheerful spring to foreign groves does out music bring? The dropping Hebrew's banished harps unstrung in Babylon upon the willows hung. Yours sounds aloud and tells us you excel no less in courage than in singing well. Whence unconcerned you let your country know they have improvised themselves, not you. Who with the muse's help can mock those fates which threaten kingdoms and disorder states. So weak, and from Caesar's rage he fled, the Roman muse to Pontus with him led, where he so sung, that we, through pity's glass, see ne'er milder than Augustus was. Ye after such on the behalf shall be indulgent sins of posterity, to banish those who with such art can sing, is the rude crime which his own curse does bring. Ages to come shall ne'er know how we fought, nor how to love the present youth be taught. Wist to thyself, now do I match this book, when those few that can with judgment look, may find out love in pure fresh language told, like new stamped coin made out of angel gold. Such truth and love as the antique world did know, and such a style as courts may boast of know, which no bold tales of gods or monsters well, but human passions, such as with us dwell. Man is thy theme, his virtue or his rage, drawn to the life in each elaborate page. Mars not Bellona are not named here, but such a Gondibert as both might fear. Venus had here and Hebe been outshined by the bright Bertha and by Rosalind. Such the happy skill and such the odds betwixt the worthies and the Grecian gods, whose deities in the vein had here come down, the model beauties of the sovereign crown. Such is a flesh composed by flesh and blood, though not resisted, may be understood. To the King on his Navy by Edmund Waller. Ere the navy spreads her canvas wings, mastery and peace to all she brings. A French and Spaniard that in their flags appear, forget their hatred and consent to fear. So Jove from either did both hosts away, when he pleased thunder part the fray. Ships heretofore in seas like fishes sped, the mightiest still upon the smallest fed. Born with deep impossessed nobler laws, where the justice has removed the cause of those rude tempests, which, for rapine sent, too oft alas involved the innocent. Now should the ocean as by Thames be free from both those fates of storms and piracy, would we most happy who can fear no force, but winged troops, or Pegasus horse. 'Tis not so hard for greedy foes to spoil another nation as to hawk our soil. Should nature's self invade the world again, or the centre spread the liquid main, the power safe, and the destructive hand would but enlarge the bounds of thy command. The dreadful fleet would style the Lord of all, and ride in triumph o'er the drowned bowl. Those towers of oak o'er fertile plains might go, and visit mountains where the once did grow. Worlds restore once could not endure, that finished Babel should those men secure, whose bright design was fabric to have stood above the reach of any second flood. To thee is chosen, more indulgent, he dares trust such powers with so much pity. Upon the late storm and death of the late usurper Oliver Cromwell, by Edmund Waller. We must resign. Heaven his great soul does claim, and storms as loud as his immortal fame. His dying groans, his last breath shakes for isle, and trees uncut fall for his funeral pile. About his palace their broad roots are tossed, and through the air Sir Romulus was lost. New Rome in such a tempest missed the king, and from obeying failed the worshipping. And at his top was Hercules lay dead, with the ruined oaks and pines about him spread. The poplar too, whose bow we wont to wear, on his victorious head lay prostrate there. Was his last fuel from mountain rend, our dying hero of the continent, ravished whole towns, and fought some Spaniards' rest, as his last legacy to Britain left. The ocean which so long our hopes confined could give no limits to his vaster mind. Our bones enlargement was his latest toil, no half year left as prisoners to our isle. And at the tropics our language spoke, and part of Flanders have received our yoke. Our civil broids it is in age, found noble objects for our martial rage, and with wise conduct to his country showed the ancient way of conquering abroad. Ungrateful then, we no tears allow to him that gave us peace and empire too. Princes that feared him grief, concerned to see the pitch of glory from the grave is free. Nature herself took notice of his death, and sang sweat with sea with such a breath, that the remotest shores of billows rolled, of the approaching fate of her great ruler told. Upon the late storm, by Edmund Waller. We must resign. Heaven's great soul does claim in storms, as loud as his immortal fame. His dying groans, his last breath shakes so isle, and trees uncut fall for his funeral pile. About his palace where broad roots are tossed into the air, Sir Romulus was lost. New Rome in such a tempest missed the king, from obeying fell to worshipping. Where its top was Hercules lay dead, with ruined oaks and pines about him spread. Poplar too, whose bow he won to wear on his victorious head, lay prostrate where vows his last fuel from the mountain rent, our dying hero from the continent ravished our towns and forts from Spaniards reft, as his last legacy to Britain left. The ocean, which so long our hopes confined, could give no limits to his vaster mind. Our bounds enlargement was his latest toil, nor half we left as prisoners to our isle. Under the tropics our language spoke, and part of Flanders half received our yoke. From civil broils he did us disengage, found nobler objects for martial rage, and with wise conduct to his country showed the ancient way of conquering abroad. Ungrateful then, if we no tears allow to him that gave us peace and empire too. Princes that feared him grief concerned to see no pitch of glory from the grave is free. Nature herself took notice of his death, and sighing, swelled the sea with such a breath that to remotest shores the billows rolled, the approaching fate of her great ruler told. While I listen to your voice, by Edmund Waller. While I listen to thy voice, Clois, I feel my life decay. A powerful noise calls my flitting soul away. Oh, suppress the magic sound which destroys without a wound. Peace, Clois, peace, or singing die, for together you and I to heaven may go. For all we know of what the blessed do both is, that we sing and that we love.